Welcome to the Wednesday show. Hope everyone's having an awesome, awesome Wednesday morning. Hey, Gaming Mind. Hope you're doing all right. Um, do we have a couple of things to go over? I actually didn't see. Hey, EOR Explorers, EOR Explorers. How's it going? I actually didn't see the stuff that Mono posted recently about Texas, Texit. But we definitely have to go over that. Eeyore. Oh yeah, there you go. That makes a lot more sense. Oh man, that was on me. Um, let me see. Hey, Zeke, how's it going? Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm situated here. We have quite the stuff to take care of today. Hold on, folks. All right. What's the latest in trying to use GameStop to stop the game? Wait. What's going on with GameStop? Ooh. Raid incoming? Uh-oh. Everybody, man the positions. Man the positions. We have reports of a raid incoming. Man your stations. Man your stations. Seventh Reverend, thank you so much for the raid with a party of 18. How's it going? Good morning to you, Boondocks Dragon. How's it going? Eon, Sunrays, how's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Sunrays. Thanks for the follow, 7th Reverend. Ranvel, hey, how's it going? Ooh, thank you. Thank you for the follow, UU59000. Welcome. Perfect timing because we're just getting ready. A lot of people are trying to short the shorters in the stock market. I don't gamble, but it's an interesting kerfuffle. Yeah, I don't know what that is going on there. No idea what's going on with the GameStop stuff. I can't really mod their on my phone. No, it's okay, Gaming Mind. It's all good. It's all good. For those of you that do not know who I am. Okay, perfect. I'm alright. I'm hanging out. I can try to I can try to explain a giant hedge fund firm was trying to short GameStop into bankruptcy. Oof. Nice. I'll post the story on games on the Discord. Gotcha. Yeah. I hate sourcing. I stayed up way too late looking into the GameStop stuff. I wish I had known about it months ago. I would have dropped a few grand into this meme. And then Wall Street Bets on Reddit tried to hedge these shorts by driving up the price of GameStop. Hey, Lost2, how's it going? Oh my goodness. Yeah, but how would we know that? For all, like, honestly, I thought GameStop was done, like, dead. Some incredible people in chat today. Thank you. I love the Vermin Supreme sticker. They are both one and the same. Oh wait, no. It's the boot head guy. Sorry, boot head. Sorry, I get confused. All right, folks. For those of you that don't know who I am a Difficult Truth. We do news and politics in the mornings, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We have lots of fun here. Yes, mandatory toothbrushing and universal basic ponies. That's the kind of policy I can get behind, to be honest. Currently, he's gone back in time to kill Hitler. True. That's what he said. Thanks for the follow, Mark Tamar. The issue is the issue was that they had way over leveraged their position on GameStop. It left them wide open for this kind of attack. Also, it could have saved GameStop. They now have an opportunity to position themselves as a digital retailer. This whole thing could have saved the company, so it went bad. So that they wouldn't drive GameStop out of business through massive stock price drop-offs. Oh, I see. Yikes. Yeah. True capitalism working as intended. Yeah, I was seeing that just based off the title that Lucid Fox was covering that, so I imagine yeah, they were at $19 per stock. Oof. Damn, I wish I would have known. Hey, Full Stop Terry, how's it going? All right, folks. We got quite the ground to cover today. So, let's go ahead and the first one was posted by Mono, which I think is kind of funny. Okie doke. So they're talking. Texas is talking about seceding. Also to be noted, this Texas state representative who filed the bill for secession was also at the Capitol incident. So yeah, that's a nice meme. That's a really nice meme. Texas GOP put out something that we are the storm on it. Yikes. Texas always talks about secession when they don't get their way. Yeah, but like, didn't Texas vote for Trump anyways? Like, what is the problem here? Texas does not dictate what happens to the rest of the United States. GameStop pivoting to game streaming services would be legit. Yeah. Despite what Texans tell you, they do not have the ability to leave the union. That is true. That they once had this option, but that loophole was closed 100 years ago. People who even bring this up as a serious option are not serious people. Every time a Dem president is elected, they start this shit. Jesus. Yeah, and I'm sure that over time it will be more and more blue. Either way, nice meme. Let's see the actual bill. How big is this? Okay, this is not too big. They want to establish Texas as an independent republic. A bill to be entitled An Act relating to proposing a referendum to the people of the state of Texas on the question of whether the state should leave the United States of America and establish an independent republic. It'd be enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas. Yeah. So it's like a not a bill, but like I guess an act to enact a referendum to see if people want to do it. The referendum proposed under this section is non-binding on any decision of legislature following the submission of the report required by Section 2H. The Texas Independence Committee is a joint interim committee established to study and make recommendations regarding the most effective and expeditious method by which Texas may return to its status as an independent republic. Okie doke. It's been a while since I've researched this, but if I recall correctly, this would require a U.S. constitutional amendment. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, it's like... It just seems like these guys are just straight up mad for no reason. We want to secede by 2026. Okay. Sure. I wish Texas could do this. I would be happy to see... I would happy to see them leave it. I want there to be a safe space for chuds. They know it's turning blue soon. The difference was only 400k votes this year. That's literally a sneeze for larger cities to find. I feel like Houston itself could be the difference. Yeah, well, like, so if you guys are crying about losing elections or losing ground in states like Texas and Georgia, maybe this is just like, you know, just a bobblehead on the internet, just a rando talking, but maybe offer better candidates who can actually do something for the people instead of relying on like these old antiquated gerrymandering and all this other stuff. Just offer better candidates, dude. That sounds you losing ground, you losing ground and elections. That sounds like a you problem. Jesus, the market opens in 6 minutes and already $100 difference. Oh man. Ooh, I'm not a betting man, but geez. Exactly. It's not. No. It is you. The voters are just not that into you. Mississippi, if we got the black community motivated and registered and give them a platform worth voting for, the state could be blue in one election. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want to win as a party, as a candidate, whatever, it doesn't matter. Offer a good candidate that will offer people something, right? The presidential election system needs fixed. Like, what do you mean needs fixed? I'm not understanding. Ranked choice voting is a thing that we could do to, if you're interested in giving a leg up to a third party or something like that. Ranked choice voting would be the way to go. We could also move into some type of a parliamentary type system as well. Basically, the electoral college is broken. The electoral college has been broken and it's undemocratic. It's not. It doesn't. You're not gonna get any fight from me. And people feel like they can't vote for people like Yang because he's unknown. Well, it's not because he's unknown. It's because some of his policies are like not enough to gather support. Instead of relying on old antiquated senility, there's only a plus for a candidate when whoever's gonna rule up. A party really wants to do, I don't even know. Yeah, the first step is definitely to make a to make the system more democratic. Yeah, hundreds of policies that had problems being implemented. Like, yes, Yang brought some interesting flavor to the primary. You know, the whole talk of like UBI and stuff, but there's a lot of problems with said UBI and how to deploy said UBI and all of this other stuff, right? Anyways, I mean, it's done. Yeah, exactly, Cheeto, right? It's done. He's running for mayor, so he's running for mayor, so you know, let's see what happens here. But yeah, it's 2020 primaries. I'm not really down for that. UBI is just a subsidy for landlords. In a way, yes. What do you think that UBI is going to be used for, Ranvel? What do you think that UBI is going to be used for? It's going to be used for paying rent. The gaming of GameStonk is funny. True. I wish I would have known. You see, for somebody who like spends a lot of time on the internet, I should have seen that coming. Wait. Are you really doing the Monopoly analogy? So you know what the purpose of Monopoly is, right? The purpose of Monopoly is Yeah, sure. You can put slow mode. The purpose of Monopoly is to consolidate as much money into a single player's hands as quickly as possible. I think that's a bad analogy. You don't need to understand the stocks, you just gotta hang out with the memers of Wall Street bets. You can't play with no money. That's not how. Okay, so this is completely disanalogous. This doesn't um this doesn't match the situation, okay? It just really doesn't, okay? We're not starting from scratch. This isn't, first of all, we're not starting from scratch. Two, this isn't like a game with a couple of people. There's hundreds of millions of people. Three, the purpose of Monopoly is to show you the problems with capitalism. So yeah, like I said, he brought in different ideas to the Democratic primary, but I just don't see how those ideas will turn out in the positive. Like, do I think there is a way to deploy UBI? Sure. I just think that there's better ways of solving issues than he proposes. Does that make sense? Like, instead of, like, how about this? Instead of giving people UBI, how about you just get people and you just get people the necessities that they need as part of already an all-encompassing governmental program. You get food, housing, education, and healthcare. That's it. There's no UBI, nothing like that. You just get food, housing, education, and healthcare as a set standard of living in the US. I think that would be easier. You missed the point of putting people into... What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing? Do you think that people not having to spend money for healthcare, people not having to spend money for tuitions, medical debt is gone? Medical debt is gone. Student debt is not going to be a thing when you have education and healthcare covered. What do you think that does? That is a stimulus to the economy. Do you see what I'm saying? There's easier ways of implementing, because I know you want to reach the same goals, but there's easier ways of implementing things. You will have as a byproduct these things. You don't have to spend for healthcare, you don't have to spend for housing, you don't have to spend for this other stuff. So, like, do you see what I mean? Like, I know that Yang probably means well, but I just think that just giving the money in the hands will just magically get rid of all the problems, right? I just feel like there's easier ways of doing this. Okay. So, that being said, this is a meme. This is funny. Texit is pretty funny. Like, how did they really work this out in 6 pages? In a 6-page PDF, they really September 1st of 2021. Okie doke. So do they really have everything figured out in a 6-page referendum on how to secede from the United States? I don't know, man. Seems like a half-baked plan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, sourcing. Maybe see what he does as mayor if he really wants to get into politics. Like, actually more serious, you know? No, it is just a meme. It is just a meme, in my opinion. I don't think anything's gonna come out of it or anything like that. Mr. Rogers, if you want, go ahead and post that link in the Discord. Okay, so let's get rid of this. This is a nice meme. Thank you, Mono. Let's get into this one. Young people want checks on big tech's power. Wow, amazing. Oh, the Discord? Yeah, just hop in. Here, I'll show you. Oh, you don't have one. How do we do this? How about you message it to me? Direct message. Yep, pretty much, Dick Zeke. The TLDR is that. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Perfect. And message it to Cheeto El Rey. There you go. Bitcoin is tanking. Stocks to crash 65 to 80% this year. Alright, so if we have time, we'll get to it because it's almost an hour-long video. Yeah, it's a commercial for a Wi-Fi router. Hey, Dr. Dragon Rider. Yeah, I think that this is a hour-long video, and if we have time, we'll try to play as much as we can. So let's speed run. Let's speed run through some of these things. Young people want checks on big tech's power. No kidding. Not a problem. The next generation of college-educated Americans think social media companies have too much power. Really? And influence on politics and need more government regulation, according to the new survey by Generation Lab for Axios. Why it matters. The finding follows an election dominated by rampant disinformation and voter fraud. Social media companies brought efforts to stifle purveyors of disinformation, including former President Trump, and a deadly January 6th insurrection over election organized largely online. These young people also see Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell as the leader of the Republican Party, not Donald Trump. A majority of young Democrats said major tech companies should be regulated more by the government. True. A plurality of the young Republicans, 43%, said the same. Clear majorities of Republicans and Democrats also agreed that social media companies have too much power and influence in politics. True. What do you mean? Regulated how? They shouldn't be allowed to be this big. Okay? There's no reason why Facebook, Twitter, YouTube should be as big as it is. There's no reason why Facebook should have been allowed to behave in anti-competitive manners as it did previously. There's absolutely no reason. We have antitrust legislation for this very same reason. So, yeah, absolutely, people want this regulated. People are done. Um, so it's already regulated? No, it's not. Meaning we have legislation that was passed a very long time ago, antitrust legislation that we could use, but we are not using. How's Facebook still surviving? The boomers are the only people on there. Advertising. Hey, Puck Flicker. Mitch McConnell might think he leads the Republicans, but he doesn't lead conservatives. He has a tight grip on the Senate. So kind of like how Jump isn't gonna be convicted. Probably not. I don't know. Alio, thank you for the 3 months resubscription. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2-month streak. 3rd month. Young folks are actually jazzed about Joe Biden. I don't know who these young folks are, but okay. Cyrus Meshler, CEO of Generation Lab, told Axios now they expect yeah, well, this is true. They expect him to deliver the goods, climate action, bold stimulus, healthcare expansion, even when he can't bring Republicans along. We'll see. We'll see. True. Gen Z and young millennials live and breathe social media and technology and are confident in their own ability to use these platforms and detect misinformation. Well, thanks for the follow, Mr. Rogers. I'm Jazzy signed some good executive orders so far. We'll see what happens from here. Yeah, like he did a couple of good things. He did a couple of good things. So we'll see. I just want. I just want the most amount of good for the most amount of people with whatever we have right now. Yet with a notable bipartisan agreement, they think that big tech's power must be checked. True. Thanks for the follow, Randall. So yes, the TLDR, this is true. I do want legislation that we have on the books to be used, and Area 51. Wait, what? Where did you see Area 51? Let me take a sec to appreciate the hopefully impending death of the Keystone XL. Such a relief. Yeah, like, basically, we shouldn't be encouraging any new pipelines or anything like that. What we should be doing is taking away the subsidies of fossil fuels and moving that to a renewable and racing to get to fusion. I want universal healthcare. I don't care about regulating BS. Well, I mean, these things definitely need to be regulated as they're extremely corrosive. In fact, can be used to become disinfo campaigns against universal healthcare. It is a problem. Not that we shouldn't focus on healthcare. Should Section 230 be revoked for Facebook and Twitter? To my understanding, I'll have to read more into it. Eliminating their liability protections will just result in everybody being yeeted because they don't want to catch a lawsuit. What renewable energy can create enough BTU to smelt steel? What news organization? Why are news organizations saying Trump conviction unlikely? Because Republicans aren't really like on board 100%, and it's gonna take what, 10 of them, 15 of them. 17. Thank you. It is not unconstitutional. Yeah, this was due to Rand Paul. Yeah, like what is this like? Wait, so we shouldn't go to renewable because we can't smelt steel? What? Does that make sense? Anyways, Bezos supports Biden. I don't know. I guess he does. Not sure what that is relevant. Well, I'm not sure what the relevance is. Anywho, true. Big tech, social media, giants need to be reined in. Well, ideally, yes. There needs to be consequences, Halio. Democrats' COVID conundrum. Work with GOP or run them over. Well, when it comes to COVID, whatever needs to be done needs to be done. Democrats are facing their first major decision with total control of Washington. Not so much. This is not accurate. This is not totally accurate. Just because they have a majority, a slim majority at that, in the House, just because they have like essentially 50-50 split with the tiebreaker, like the thinnest of thinnest majority, does not mean they have total control of Washington. Thanks for the follow, not Richard. Except I know you aren't getting the benefits that the family get. Yeah, well, what I mean is, like, listen, if Joe Biden has to enact the Defense Production Act to get vaccines, if he has to use the Defense Production Act to get personal protection equipment out there, whatever needs to be done. That's what I'm talking about, just to be clear. Which side is this? I don't know. I think it's Politico. Yes, Politico. whether to wait and see if negotiations with Republicans pan out or move forward unilaterally with a massive coronavirus package. Progressives are itching to wield control of the House and Senate and are skeptical that talks between a bipartisan group of senators and President Joe Biden will bear fruit. Moderates say that the party will need to be more patient and give centrists some space to work. There's not a lot of time. Critical unemployment benefits now expire on March 14th. So, if there's no time to waste and there's things that you can do to try to help the people, you probably should do that. Just saying. I guarantee if I can sit down with my Republican friends and find a pathway forward, said Joe Manchin, who said it was horrible how Republicans evaded the filibuster to try to pass their agenda on tax cuts and healthcare when they held their majority. Let me try first. So wait, they get to play dirty, but the Democrats play nice? Is that it? Should the elderly be vaccinated first by age brackets and trend down for priority? I would refer probably to a doctor instead. I'm not gonna answer that question. To my understanding, it's like they should get the frontline workers first. They're the ones that are keeping us alive. I don't know. Then the elderly people. Yeah, both medical staff and elderly are already getting it here. Yeah, I wouldn't be the person to ask. You should follow a streamer named Doc Midnight. People can talk to whoever they want to, but this country faces enormous crises, retorted Bernie Sanders, who's chair of the Budget Committee. Elections have consequences. We're in the majority and we've got to act. Across the Capitol, House Democrats are eyeing dueling approaches on how to tackle the next coronavirus relief package, Biden's first significant legislative priority, and one which will be harbinger for others. The bill was already going to be a heavy lift, coming just weeks after Congress passed nearly $1 trillion aid package. Now it's becoming the first visible fissure between the Democrats' more moderate and left-leaning wings of its party, which is under most intense pressure to deliver. Some centrist Democrats like Manchin insist that Biden's package must be bipartisan, like every other coronavirus aid bill to date. Yeah, and they all sucked. Jesus Christ. It says the administration needs to come down from its initial $1.9 trillion proposal, but many others are unwilling to wait. With badly needed money for vaccine distribution on the line, as well as a slew of other priorities left out at the last deal. In particular, Republicans are resisting Biden's proposal to raise the minimum wage to $15 and conservatives low spending on state and local governments. Then what is the option? What is the alternative? This is so frustrating. Fine, you make the minimum wage debate a separate issue. If you don't like that, you make that a separate vote. If they thought it was impossible, I don't think they'd be wasting their time. Their first mission is to find a bipartisan way forward, said Representative Josh Gottheimer of the Biden team, which he is working with on a bipartisan approach. Gottheimer co-leads a group of moderates from both parties that met with the Biden policy team on Tuesday afternoon, where lawmakers made clear that reconciliation was not their preferred approach to a relief deal. According to multiple sources on the call, instead they said members wanted to see a bill move to regular order. But another group of Democrats, doubtful of the bipartisan talks and anxious to deliver more relief, said the only path forward is to muscle through Biden's package on their own, using the wonky budget tool known as reconciliation to jam the bill through Congress without GOP votes. Senate Democratic leaders, meanwhile, are staking out a middle ground, give Republicans some time, but run them over if they delay too long. Okay. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Tuesday he prefers to have the GOP on board, but will move without them if they must. And Schumer told Senate Democrats on Tuesday that they could vote on a budget as soon as next week. Some of the comments have been admittedly disheartening, Schumer said, but we're always hopeful that some will see the light. Like, okay. I understand. I get it. But when it comes to like the COVID relief, the economic package that we've been trying for months and months and months and months and months, I don't think there's that much wiggle room to wait around. Okay. I hope it doesn't lead to that, but we're always hopeful if someone see the light. And remember, even on reconciliation, Republicans can join us. I hope it doesn't lead to that, Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin, but he's indicated that the party is exploring how far it can go with reconciliation, like including an increase in the minimum wage. In the past, Republicans have changed some of the rules relative to reconciliation to accommodate their legislative efforts. But going forward towards a party line vote would send exactly the wrong message. It was in the bipartisan group of 16 senators that spoke with top Biden officials Sunday. We need to be unified, come to some measure of consensus. Well, the consensus to anybody in Congress should be what they can do to help the people. That's it. That's literally the only consensus that should be going on as a representative or as a senator in Congress. No matter what party you are on, your job is to represent the people. The only consensus there should be having right now is how to help. How to get help the best way possible, the quickest way possible. Jesus Christ. This is so frustrating. Incredible. Humans are frustrating. True. If Trump starts a third party, will we get to start our own? Ooh, don't know. Global ice sheets melting at worst case rates. Nice meme. The rate at which ice is disappearing across the world matches worst case climate warming scenarios. A team from the University of Edinburgh, Leeds, and University College of London said the rate which the ice is melting across the world's polar region and mountains has increased markedly in the last 30 years. Using satellite data, the experts found that the Earth lost 28 trillion tons of ice between 1994 and 2017. The rate of loss has risen 0.8 trillion tons per year in the 1990s to 1.3 trillion tons by 2017. Potentially disastrous consequences for people living in coastal areas. The ice sheets are now following the worst-case climate warming scenario set out by the IPCC, said Thomas Slater, a research fellow at Leeds University Center for Polar Observation and Modeling. Sea level rise on the scale will have very serious impacts on coastal communities this century. Well, we know that because a lot of these investment companies are already taking climate risk into account. Input from the United Nations IPCC has been critical to forming international climate change strategies, including the 2015 Paris Agreement, under which the majority of greenhouse gases emitting nations agreed to take steps to mitigate the effect of global warming, which, by the way, that was 2015, about 6 years ago. And we hit none, by the way. We hit none of these metrics. Obviously, as the ice shrinks, there's other domino effects, and the entire Earth's ecosystem is extremely complex, to say the least, and having the ice melt in this manner has domino effects that even we're not quite 100% measured yet. It could create feedback loops, making climate change worse. In some areas, it can cause different effects. The Earth's ecosystem is extremely complex, and it's imperative that we take this seriously. That's the TLDR of this article. And people don't understand like what happens when the sea levels rise. It's not just coastal flooding or coastal cities disappearing. Like what is the effect? Are currents going to start moving around? How is that going to affect the different ecosystems across the world? How is that going to affect the large currents, ocean currents, which are, if you really want to think about it, they're like Earth's supply lines, right? They're like Earth's water pipelines that shift across the planet, right? So how is this going to affect these currents, these very important currents? I don't know. Who knows? This could change the entire planet, essentially. Not to mention, can you imagine what happens? Let's say this continues, right? Let's say we continue on this path, and a lot of coastal cities start to go under. Do you know how many millions and millions of people are going to be displaced? Essentially, climate refugees. Millions and millions of them. Yeah, that's right. California and Florida are sea rise issues. Yeah, it's not just in one place or the other, it's all over the planet. So the TLDR is this is serious, and we need to begin to address this yesterday, ideally 10 years ago. Ideally about 20 to 30 years ago, actually, uh, when we started getting notions of where this would lead, you know? So basically, in the TLDR of this article is, yes, I would like, obviously, a functioning government, but when you can't get it together and the people need help, you need to do what you can within your purview, right? So right now, if the Democratic Party is within their purview, um, to try to get help to the people, um, they have a house, slim majority, but they can do something. I'm not saying they have ultimate power, but they can do a few things. I believe that they should be doing whatever's in the interest of the people that elected them. True. Without being able to resell their homes to Aquaman. How do these billionaires give zero fucks about their grandkids? Well, um, because they don't think it's gonna affect them. Marjorie Taylor Greene believes in Frazzle Drip, QAnon's wildest conspiracy theory. What is Frazzle Drip? The average QAnon believer has likely no idea. What is this? Newly minted representative from Georgia recently filed impeachment papers against Joe Biden is no average QAnoner. Okay, let's get into this. No, I don't believe it. Not Richard Warlock. Yeah, we saw this one. Okay, Here's what the theory, which originated on conspiracy site Your Newswire in April of 2018. A video was found on the laptop of Anthony Weiner, the former Democratic congressman who was jailed in 2017 for sexting with a minor, began circulating on the dark web. The video was found in a folder zip on the laptop's hard drive called Life Insurance and was named FazzleZip. The bogus report says the video, which for clarity does not exist on the dark web or anywhere else, shows Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin, Weiner's former wife and longtime Clinton aide. Okie doke. Specifically, the video is supposed to show Clinton doing that to the girl. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Um. Ooh. Hey, Wiz, how's it going? Human failure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's some kind of WWE universe. Thanks for the follow, Mickey. Wow, been up for 30 minutes and still haven't learned too much today. Oof. And I've already learned too much today. Oof. Yeah, this is way more than I wanted to learn. Yikes. This is like some Alex Jones level. Thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by. We were talking about Senate Republicans and Colt 45, I bet. But as bad as this crap is, I oppose restricted speech and policy. Except clear and present dangers. Yeah. Yep. QAnon is always way worse than Alex Jones. True. Yes, even Alex Jones thinks QAnon is full of shit. True. Alright. So, folks, main event time. I thought this force the vote stuff. I thought this force the vote stuff was over. Yeah, they're still suing Alex Jones, I believe. I thought the whole force the vote conversation is done away with, considering who was perpetuating this and considering all the debates that have been going around. And it seems like the people who are attempting to essentially have a fight when there isn't one, there's no need for one, is beginning to irk me at this point. The fact that it hasn't gone away makes me need to address it. That's right. Oh man. Hold on. Hey Ernok, how's it going? But it is what it is.
Chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand?
Well, hopefully this makes you laugh.
The friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs. Place point.
It does make me laugh. All right, so back to seriousness. So this is getting to the point where I'm pretty frustrated. But sure, let's see what this guy has to say.
I want to say thank you again to AOC for, again, endorsing my idea of hashtag force the vote, except she's doing it unwittingly, although a lot of people don't think she's doing it unwittingly. And here she is. She did it again. She went on Chris Cuomo yesterday And let's just listen to what she says. Here's what she has to say.
To really think about what they are doing in trying to protect Donald Trump. Because if there's one thing that they should know is that for all the amount that they will try to protect him, he will do little to nothing to protect
That's
them,
always been the way.
unless it is directly in
It's
his
never
interest.
been loyalty.
So now just all you have to do is switch the word Joe Biden with Donald Trump. Just switch Joe Biden in that. Let's listen.
To really think about what they are doing in trying to protect
Joe
Donald Trump.
Biden.
Because if there's one thing that they should know is that for
Joe
all the
Biden.
amount that they will try to protect him, he will do little to nothing to protect
That's
them.
all.
So I just want to remind everybody who's lefty, who's defending Joe Biden, he will do little to nothing to defend you. Okay, but she's talking about Donald Trump and why they should have an impeachment vote and why they should do it. Here's what she's talking about.
Been the way.
Unless it is directly in
It's
his
never
interest.
been loyalty. It's always been fealty. But now the state
That's
of play,
right.
you hold the power in your hand.
I like how they pretend that's just the one party doing that. That's just one politician that gives fealty to people. That's just one politician. That's politics. That's why we're in the state we're in, because both sides of the aisle do exactly what they just claimed only one politician is doing. Pay fealty. Okay, here we go.
Now, collectively, how much of a delay is okay with you?
They're talking about delay on impeachment.
Well, I think that the moment we get to a point where we are delaying, where that delay is coming from us, and where that delay is really starting to get in the way of justice, then we need to really start figuring out what in fact is going on.
So when there's a delay in legislation, that delay actually is a delay in justice. So we can't have a delay in justice. We can have a delay in healthcare for forever, but we can't have a delay in justice, meaning impeaching Donald Trump was already out of office. This is what's of supreme importance to her.
However, hey, if they want to delay it, let's bring up a vote to expel Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley from the Senate.
You think they should be
Because if
out?
we've got time on our hands,
Look
then we should be actually bringing justice to the members of Congress and the members of the Senate who also help support this insurrection.
You think they should be
because
out?
let's not. They absolutely. If they don't resign, they should be expelled.
Zero
from the
chance
Senate.
they resign.
Nobody.
Nobody resigns.
Then we should hold a vote. We have an ethics inquiry coming up in.
So if they got time on their hands, then we should have this vote. We should hold the vote to oust Ted Cruz. If they've got time on their hands. So she's saying they got time on their hands, and she wants to force a vote. The difference between this and force the vote for healthcare is that there's no risk politically in taking the stand she just took right there. That's the difference. There is one to force your colleagues who don't want to be outed to vote for Medicare for all. There is a political price if she forced the vote on Medicare.
No. Jesus Christ. No. So the political, yes, there is a price to the political price to force the vote for Medicare for all will be that the 6 members of the squad will expel an enormous amount of political capital. It will fail, and then it will set the ground for it never happening again. If you want Medicare for all, you've got to build the coalitions within the Democratic Party to get it on the table. You can't subvert when you don't have the perceived leverage, because you don't.
For all, because her colleagues would push back against her. But there's no pushback on this, and that's why she can do this. We're all just sitting around dicking around. We're not trying to get you health care, but since we got time on our hands, let's force a vote. Did you hear what she said? We have to hold the vote. She
Those
just
are
said
2 different things, my friend. 2 different things.
it. Let me back it up.
Then we should hold a vote. I know we have an ethics inquiry coming up in the House.
Here's why she said they had to make that vote on impeachment. She said sometimes it gets members on the record, so people can't make excuses later. Because someone asked her, "Why? He's not going to be impeached. Why are you doing this? This is performative." And she said, "Well, a few reasons. Sometimes it gets members on record, so people can't make excuses later. Sometimes these votes create real political pressure that forces developments." What? Sometimes these votes create real political pressure that forces developments. But that wouldn't work for Medicare. Sometimes we vote for the historical record to let future generations know we did everything that we could. So she's making the case for force the vote again. She made the case in this video. She made the case in her explanation of why she voted for impeachment. And what I said was amazing. After all the bad faith attacks I received for pushing force the vote strategy everyone previously agreed with and ran on, I never expected that my biggest offender would end up being AOC herself. All she left out of this tweet was hashtag force.
Yes, we do need healthcare now. I'm not saying that we need to wait. I'm just saying that if we are going to do this, we have to make sure that we have the political, first of all, the political capital to be able to make this happen. And second of all, like, if we fail, then what? Like, the problem is, if we fail to have this vote, what I'm afraid of is that then they'll turn around and say, see, it doesn't work. Nobody wants it. And that will end the conversation on Medicare for all. And it will never be brought up again. I don't want to sell my house to the next time a huge medical bill comes. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't... medical debt all on of its own can be a different problem to be solved. There should never be a thing called medical debt. Like, that just shouldn't be a thing. Hey, Heat, how's it going? The Dems have full control of the House and Senate, and the White House. They can do whatever they want. Yes, they have control of the Senate by +1, and they have the slim majority in the House. They can set agendas, and they can push some legislation through. I'm just not sure the strategy to doing this is going to work the way Jimmy Dore thinks it's going to work. And a better strategy would be to pressure the politicians who are your representatives to hold this vote. Because what we can do, remember, the squad doesn't have that much force in terms of like what they can do in the House, but you know what they do have? You know where their power lies? Their power lies in the massive amount of influence that they have. Why not get continuous petitions from their constituents and pressure the Democratic Party, who's still not on board with some type of universal healthcare system, Medicare for all, to hold the vote? Their power is the fact that they have so many people behind them, right? Their popularity. Use that to pressure Democratic lawmakers to get the vote on the table. I don't think the deployment of the strategy of saying like, oh yeah, we're not going to vote for Nancy Pelosi as speaker because unless she gives us a vote on Medicare for all, what will end up happening is that Nancy becomes Speaker of the House anyways, and now the squad doesn't have any pull whatsoever. And we get none of it. We need universal student loan debt forgiveness, true. Same time, a way to prevent degradation of academic standards, true. I pay $400 a month in home taxes, that should be included. Yeah, exactly. If I can send my neighbors 5 kids, yeah, well, public schooling should not be funded by property taxes anyways. But yeah. Like, the idea itself, isn't really bad, right? So the premise of using your power to try to get concessions, that in and of itself isn't the problem. The problem is the deployment of said strategy. I don't think it's going to work the way he thinks it is. And he continues to talk about it and continues to essentially create a split, right? Essentially, a split when we need to be working together to be putting more pressure to get what we need, which is healthcare, get what we need, which is housing, education, food. Not this.
To vote. The problem, so here's what she said about the problem with now here's her bullshit reason for forcing the vote on Medicare for all. She said, there's no step 2. There's no thought given to step 2. The Dem votes aren't there yet. And with a razor-thin margin, the Dems are the greater margin. So you issue threats, hold your vote, and lose? Then what? If you want to know who's opposed, look at the code. That's exactly opposite of what she said here. The exact opposite of why she said this. Exact opposite. So you hold the vote and lose like a difference. Newsflash, this is again her. Medicare for all and equal rights aren't trends. When people complain about low turnout in some demos, it's not because communities are apathetic. It's because they don't see you fighting for them. If we don't show up for people, why should you feel entitled to their vote?
Exactly.
This is a nice
if
way
we
of
don't
saying,
pressure
let's
the
shoot
Dems, we don't get anything. So what we need to do is use their star power, or what they need to do is use their star power to bring this to the table, saying, hey, let's call your representative, call this, get petitions done, pressure them. If not, it doesn't work. But just thinking that you alone or you 6 alone are going to get it,
for the bare minimum
it's
and see
just
how we
not
do.
going to happen the way you think it is.
She's not. That's amazing. She's doing the thing that she's complaining about. She's the thing that she's complaining about and why people don't turn out to vote. She's doing it. She's not fighting for you. You know what she will do? She will do, in contrast, what she will do is use her leverage to push for things that can't happen, like a $15 minimum wage. What the fuck? Everybody agrees on that. Joe Biden's for it. You're not getting anything out of your vote for that. Nancy Pelosi's for it. Already passed the House. Elevating longtime progressive champions to important. So she's saying committee assignments, which they didn't get, and a $15 minimum wage, which already passed the House, and Joe Biden's for. That's the opportunity cost away. So what she's saying is here, we're going to get you absolutely nothing. We're going to use our leverage to get you shit we already passed, and then a committee assignments that they didn't get. They got nothing. Nothing.
Watch.
And just running out of our life clocks. Yeah, I mean, again, if they don't produce any type of real results, they're gonna get
and what you said
destroyed
earlier,
in
too,
the
I want to go back
midterms.
To what you said about our left party. We don't have a left party in the United States. The Democratic Party is not a left party. The Democratic Party is a center or center conservative party. We do not advocate for. We can't even get a floor vote on Medicare for all. Not
Hey,
even a
that's
floor
cool,
vote that
Larry
gets voted
Weird.
down. We can't even get a vote on it.
And somehow I'm the asshole. She's not for lying to us constantly, gaslighting us and lying and failing to fight, which suppresses turnout. She's not in the wrong. I'm in the wrong for holding her own words against her. That's amazing. There it is. Hey, here, let's a little more.
So this is not a left party. There are left members inside the Democratic Party that are working to try to make that shift happen. But you're right. It does convey a certain sentiment about true believers. And there are a lot of true believers that we can capitalism our way out of poverty in the Democratic Party. If anything, that's probably the majority.
Right.
And that's an area in which I agree with Dr. King, that assessment is flawed.
She's super radical, man. She's super radical, except when it comes to actually do something.
I mean,
Then she's
the amount of people.
She won't
She's
even
one
cross
of the
Nancy
most
Pelosi. She wouldn't even do that.
popular
She wouldn't
politicians.
even hold her
what
vote
I'm
for
saying.
Nancy Pelosi. So they all talk about rattling cages and all that. They get into office, and they aren't willing to rattle cages. And that's why we're never going to see any changes, because the status quo continues, but with more inspiring tweets. That's all we're getting.
Okay. Now, here's the next segment, which is really frustrating.
Show. And so Jordan Sheridan asked her the exact question, hey, Politics 101, you're supposed to use your leverage and stuff, right?
If elected, by my math right now, Nancy Pelosi as House Speaker has a narrow, I think it's 4 or 5 seat majority. Progressives in the House, obviously that Progressive House caucus is about 100, but let's just say capital P progressives have about 9 or 10 right now. I think 9 or 10 in a unified block, whether it's Medicare for all or other priorities, can frankly make demands of House Speaker Pelosi, which frankly, you look at the UK Parliament, you look at other governments, that's just common practice. You know, if it, based on the numbers, you negotiate or make demands based on your leverage, your power. But it seems like that has not happened yet among the progressives in the House. If you come in, do you think it's a radical concept that they say, no, we're not giving you votes for X, Y, and Z unless you give us, A, B, and C?
I mean, that's how political business is done. No, it's not radical. It's right on time.
That's how political business is done. It's not radical. It's right on time.
No. Wait.
That's what she's saying about
no.
force the vote.
Watch what
That
she
was the
says
question.
after.
That's not radical to do that. That's right on time.
People are dying and losing their livelihoods. And I'm not the best at using analogies, but let me just say that I want your viewers to think about if they were drowning. Do you want somebody to say, I'll get to you in March? Or I'll get to you in April? If you are drowning, you need somebody to jump in there right now, radically jump in there and save your life. That is the moment that we are in with the ravages of this global pandemic that has not been tamed yet. It has not been tamed yet. So imagine that you were drowning even before the pandemic. And I mean, man, you going over and over again, and you need somebody to jump the hell into the water and save you. That's the moment that we're in right now. And yes, the progressives should leverage. Absolutely, they should. And the Congressional Black Caucus and the Progressive Caucus all together. I mean, can you imagine?
So do you understand what she said there, right? Do y'all caught that, right? She said the Progressive Caucus with the Black Caucus with the other, all of these things need to come together to form the leverage to then have enough power to win and force the vote to pass. Jesus Christ, like, that's okay, so I hope that you all understood what she was talking about, right? She didn't say 10 people out of, 400 something in the House try to do everything by themselves. I hope you guys saw that, right? Let's play it again.
We're in right now. And yes, the progressives should leverage. Absolutely, they should. And the Congressional Black Caucus and the Progressive Caucus all together. I mean,
which is 100 plus.
This. Like, I've been playing this over in my head that I would love to see all of those caucuses come together to say we are going to do.
Oh wow! Wait a minute. So hold on. Do you see what she's trying to say? She means you need all of these groups together to be able to have enough leverage. That's how you do it. Jimmy's trying to make money. I don't understand why anyone listens to that clown. Hey, Trevor Borns, how's it going?
What is right, not what is. But this should be easy too. But I'll just say, let's do what's right and not necessarily politically convenient. But it should, in this case, though, Jordan, I can't even. This is right and it is politically correct to say that you're gonna save the American people. I don't understand what is the problem?
Leverage.
Holy shit! That's what I was saying. That's what she's saying now. What is the problem? This is politics, business as usual. Politics 101, of course. What's the problem? That's what I was asking, what the problem was. And nobody could tell me what the problem was. Cenk Uygur said it was the wrong timing. It was bad timing. I'm drowning. Now is the wrong time to save you. That's what she's saying. Act like I'm drowning. Well, okay, that's why I'm acting like this. Act like you're drowning. And people go, not now. We'll save you later. No, I'm drowning now. Not now.
I don't understand. This does not compute for me. So I just have this wild vision in my head that the Progressive and the Congressional Black Caucus will come together and say, you know what? In the words of Fannie Lou Hamer, enough is enough. We're about to deliver this right here. Don't know what else is going to happen, but this right here, we're going to deliver for the American people. It has to happen.
And last question.
Yes, it has to happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it can only happen when you have that coalition built so that you can pressure and put your power at that point. Because like Jimmy here failed to see with his own words was, do you know how things work in parliamentary systems where you have to, as a minority party, get together and form a bigger coalition? Well, that's the thing. That's exactly what Nina Turner is saying. She's saying, if you want this to happen, you have to get all of these caucuses together, which are 100+ people, not 6, not 10, over 100+ people. Then all of these groups combined create the leverage. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you want, for example, labor to get anything done, you would team up. You would get, and labor is the minority. You would get another, Democratic party together with a common goal, and then that party gets together with the other party, and all of a sudden, it's not labor doing it. It's a coalition that has the leverage to do it. The squad has already enough numbers. You think so? Like, cause that's my issue with it, right? Like, do you really, like, do you think that like 6 to 8 people, 10 people will be enough? I mean, they could withhold their votes for other things, I'm sure, but I'm thinking that the rest of them don't care enough and will just shut them out, right? That's my worry. And then we get nothing. That's my worry. The coalition of the willing or unwilling. Right now, the entire government is the coalition of unwilling. They could have withheld the votes for Nancy to force the vote, but they didn't, so now it's over. I don't know why we're still talking about this, because Jimmy keeps putting videos about it, and it's like, my problem is that, like, okay, I think in my opinion, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I don't think that the political capital necessary to force that vote would have resulted in the outcome that people wanted. And Jimmy Dore continues to push and harp on this, which is causing a divide essentially a divide within the left, which is not constructive right now. Like, I don't know why we're still talking about it, because he keeps bringing it up, and it's really frustrating. I was never going to address this. I addressed it, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when this was happening. I said, oh, I think this is a bad idea. And that was the end of it, and it didn't happen. So, okay, we find strategies. We find more alternative strategies to get the things that we need. And in order for us to do that, we have to be organized. It's organizing from the ground up. It's organizing from the ground up. What's the slow mode on for? So that chat can go at a moderate pace. My goodness, friends, we were so worried about how to get this passed and give no thoughts about how to keep it working if we do. Well, ideally, normally, if we pass something like a universal healthcare system, a single-payer system, it's very resilient because people like it. People like it. Hey, Mask Up. So yeah, that's my frustration with this whole thing. It's like you're causing an unnecessary schism when instead we could be having more productive conversations. No, you're a mod, so you don't have slow-mo. Imagine if we didn't have public schools, all these kids would be... Wait, what? What does that mean? No, it would just be. No, I don't think you understand. Wait. No, so it basically, once public schools, once something is public and popular, like public education, public healthcare, it's really hard to get rid of, you know? And it kind of gives it that stability in a way. And of course, you can write safety nets, safety rails for the law when you are ready to pass it. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I think that the correct play at this point would be to continue to send progressives to Congress, continue to organize on the ground, and bring these issues up constantly, like Medicare for all, climate change, getting people a living wage, making sure people have food, housing, education, and healthcare, right? We continue to push from the ground up by using by using our people power, labor, right? That's how we get things done, right? It's loaded if we didn't have public schools, so we can have critical thinking. Yeah, true. So yeah, the idea is to get the work on the ground to make sure that there is, without a shadow of a doubt, that this that this legislation is what needs to happen right now. But I just don't see it. So that's basically what I wanted to show, and like kind of like stop this nonsense, right? There's no need for us to have this type of divisions and fights all the time. Okay? There's no need to have these type of divisions and fights, okay? Good luck. Your goals are noble but lack understanding of how systems, private or public, are sustained. Wait, I'm not understanding. So what, the rest of the world has figured out how to do like single payer systems, and we have no, it's just not possible? Is that what you're saying? It sounds like a way of just twisting yourself into not actually solving the problem. No, only I understand economics. Only me. Production of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been suspended at a plant in Wales after it received a suspicious package. Yikes. You just said one must figure out a way to pay for it. How do we pay for the military? Why is that always the question? That seems like like out of all the questions you have, that's the question. That is the determining factor, right? How do we pay for it? Well, how do we pay for the military? How do we pay for making sure that that we have roads and infrastructure? How do we pay for Medicaid at this point? How do we pay um for water and stuff like that? I might be able to get on board with Medicare for all if anyone can point me to a plan. I can't support a slogan. Which plan do you want? Do you want a single payer system? Because that's probably the cheapest way to go. There's multiple different ways you can deploy single payer systems. Take a look at like, for example, Spain and France. Maybe you should cut military? Okay. Sure. And increase taxes? Sure. 4% increase. And the more you make, the more taxes you gain. Yeah, sure. There's plenty of ways. Exactly. Any study of single payer versus private insurance and the costs. Yeah, just any, like, literally, there's a bunch of them. A bunch of them out there. Japan uses a single payer system funded at the local level. There you go. It's a single payer system funding that's funded at the local. It doesn't matter how you want to do it. I want the plan to a system that recruits the best providers, supports the best research, reaches the most people, and utilizes the most funds effectively. Cool. A single payer system would do those things, except, you know, yeah. You mean the most outcomes for the most amount of people? Then yeah, a single payer system would get you there. Discuss how to make it happen, but we have different roadmaps and different outlines as to how we can make it happen. So which one do we push? One that we are pushing. Basically, the idea of a Medicare for all system is we already have the infrastructure of what essentially would be Medicaid, but make it into a universal type system where you just keep lowering. Oh, there you go. Dr. Dragon Rider just got it. We have a blueprint where you just simply use that and lower the age and lower the age and lower the age. So yeah, that's one roadmap. I mean, this is not something that we can't do, you know? It's quite possible we can start doing it right now. The question is, how do we get the pressure on the people on the more moderate / more conservative Democrats? How do we get that pressure on them? That is the real question. Okay. Nina Turner proposed an idea. Get all of these coalitions together and find the pressure. But it will increase cost. What do you mean increase cost? Like, what does that mean? Increase cost like at the upfront? Maybe. But the actual healthcare will be much cheaper. Yeah, exactly. In terms of like what it costs out of pocket, that's the whole point. is that people want to hear the concrete plan. The concrete plan is already set. There's already a blueprint that you can take, and Dr. Dragonrider pointed it out. You can continue to lower the age until it's 0. We have already we have already the concept of a universal healthcare single payer type system. It's called Medicaid or Medicare. We just continue to lower the age until everybody's covered. Everybody knows what Medicaid is. Everybody knows what Medicare is. It's the same concept. You just lower the age until everybody's eligible. Slowly. It can be done within easily a 4 or 5 year program and get it done. The cost to the US Treasury? What are you talking about? What is the cost to the US Treasury for the military budget? What is the cost of the US Treasury to make sure we have the stuff that we need to fund the federal government? Yeah, plenty of other countries have figured it out. We have a roadmap that we can use if you don't like just having one plan or the other. There is one. Rather than forcing the vote that is in support of the push should be for educating the populace until vote is guaranteed and more feasible. Yes, but you do that with getting coalitions together in Congress. Try to explain anything like to the average person, this is not happening. Yes, it's doable, but it'll come at a cost that you may or may not like. Yeah, 4% up in taxes. Wow, amazing. How could I not want that? What is the point here? It's like, do you want to fix the health solution or do you not? I'm offering you different. How much do you currently pay? Yeah, how much do you currently pay? Alright, exclusive. Proud Boy leader was prolific informer for law enforcement. Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys extremist group, has a past as an informer for federal and local law enforcement, repeatedly working undercover for investigators after he was arrested in 2012. According to a former prosecutor and a transcript of 2014 federal court proceeding obtained by Reuters. Oh no. In the Miami hearing, federal prosecutor, Federal Bureau of Investigation agent, Tarrio's own lawyer, described his undercover work, said he helped authorities prosecute more than a dozen people in various cases involving drugs, gambling, and human smuggling. Tarrio, in an interview with Reuters, denied working undercover, cooperating in cases. I don't know any of this, he asked. I don't recall any of this. Okay, so somebody's lying. I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know. Apparently. Mass information campaign with facts, and I've talked about that before. An actual drafts of bill that Purple can see. Transparency. Yeah. No, it's not about dissuading me. It's about giving me an alternative instead of going in circles. Instead of like giving me alternatives, all you're doing is going in circles. And it feels like you're not arguing for a solution. You're just saying, you're just poking at you're just poking at things that don't need to be poked at. So you agree that it should be done. Now, what are your solutions? Anyways, it's just going in circles. Ah, yes, I'm bad. I'm as bad as the radical, right? True. Conservatives in Europe would never dare to talk about abolishing the NHS. It's political. That's what I'm saying. Like, once you have it in place, the things to take care of it kind of fall behind because it's so popular. I'm giving you all the solutions, answering all your questions, and we keep going in circles. You asked for a plan, we have one. Yeah, well, that's true. Oh yeah, you can post it in the Discord, James Tandy. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to run around the topic. I'm honestly interested in seeing, and these are just questions that pop into my head. Thank you for taking the time. Yeah, of course. I don't know either. No, healthcare medical dude you keep shilling for. Oh yeah, Doc Midnight does yeah, I'm sure he could probably explain how the healthcare system works better than I could ever do it. But yeah, like his thing honestly is answering questions about like COVID and stuff like that. Like nationalized healthcare, I think it's important for a society to commit to the well-being of its citizens. Wow, amazing. An amorphous blob of text. Yeah, it happens. I can't imagine the anxiety of not living with that safety net underneath me. It blows my mind that some people do. Well, apparently some people still need roadmaps and different plans. Enrique Tarrio being an informant is shocking. Yeah, so who knows? Who knows? He claims he didn't. I suspect this will send some of the BBs spiraling off to the Proud Boys mask off zone. Yikes. So he's ratting on Proud Boys to avoid jail, not an actual plant? No, previously.
Organization in the world.
And what is that?
Proud Boys.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
One of the most prominent groups to storm the Capitol on January 6th was the Proud Boys, a right-wing extremist group whose members described themselves as Western chauvinists.
Yeah, it did sound like a jam, a DMCA-able
Wall
jam.
Street Journal analyzed hundreds of videos from the riot, social media posts, court filings, and interviewed participants in the events and experts on extremism in an effort to piece together the most complete picture of the Proud Boys' role in the events that day. The Journal's investigation shows Proud Boys coordinating, instigating, and leading some of the most pivotal moments of the rush into the historic building that disrupted lawmakers' certification of the presidential election and resulted in the death of 5 people, including 1 police officer. About 7 Proud Boys have been arrested so far for their actions at the Capitol,
I'll just hum to
more
myself.
than any other right-wing group there that day. Proud Boy chairman Enrique Tarrio told
Oh,
the Journal
whoops.
the Proud Boys didn't coordinate their actions.
God. Okie doke.
Or intend to storm the Capitol, and many of the threats that the Journal pointed out were meant as a joke. He also said the Proud Boys don't condone violence unless in self-defense. Tarrio wasn't at the Capitol that day because
Unless it's self-defense, which we instigate.
he was arrested days before and charged with destruction of property and was banned from the city.
Ooh, nice.
Proud Boys first earned mainstream attention when President Trump didn't denounce white supremacists.
Now, did you all see the conversation that happened between one of the Proud Boys and he who must not be named? Whoosh. 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 Remember, this dude said that they had nothing to do with this. Nothing.
And right-wing militia groups in a September presidential debate.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
The moment emboldened the group. Its leader, Enrique Tarrio, posted a message on social media shortly after, saying simply, "Standing by, sir." It has been widely reported that the group planned to attend a rally at the Capitol on January 6th to protest election results. Joe Biggs, another leader, called for violence on social media.
Weird.
All right, guys, you want to see all the Proud Boys that are here today? Here we
Weird.
go. Everybody cover up.
On the day of the event, more than 100 Proud Boys from around the country were there.
Oh, weird.
What's up?
I thought they had nothing to do with this.
Like his channel.
A Proud Boy live streamer named Eddie Block extensively filmed the group as they met and coordinated.
I know, right?
Block declined to comment.
I know, exactly.
In the morning, before a rally near the White House with President Trump, the Proud Boys meet on the east side of the Capitol. Biggs can be seen organizing groups of Proud Boys.
Right.
He's equipped with a radio.
I love how they were like, "Oh yeah, mask up, everybody, mask up," or wait, what did he say? Hide your faces or something?
Outside, making sure you're looking on the outside of the perimeter. No one's sneaking up on us.
Biggs has since been arrested, and charging documents say he aided, abetted, and commanded others to unlawfully enter the Capitol.
The big boss man, Joe Biggs.
Biggs and his attorney did not respond to multiple requests for comment.
Milkshake's afraid of me because I'm going to kick his ass off.
Dan Scott, a Proud Boy known as Milkshake, can be heard shouting.
Take the Capitol. Come on, tighten up.
Come on, boys.
Tighten up.
But is chastised by others.
Let's not fucking yell that. All right?
This milkshake, man, you know.
Thanks for the subscription, not Richard Warlock. I appreciate
Scott
that.
did not
Thank
respond
you.
to multiple requests for comment. Some individuals who would hours later participate in the riot can be seen taking part in the rendezvous.
No, it's not a problem until it's my
There's
problem.
Michael Porter,
You
who
see that?
identified himself to the Journal as a Proud Boy. This man, whose identity the Journal could not fully confirm in interviews, social media searches, and court documents, can be seen with the group throughout the day, instigating the mob. And Robert Gieswein, who's also with the group throughout the day and is wearing patches suggesting affiliation with Proud Boys and right-wing groups.
I got to get one of these.
Rallied by Biggs and another leader, Ethan Nordine, known as Rufio, the Proud Boys coalesce and march on the Capitol. Nordine declined to comment.
2 men on a mission with about 500 behind them ready to kick some butt. Standing for this country.
So the Proud Boys coming in.
At around 12:50 p.m., while President Trump has taken the stage at a nearby rally, another live streamer captures the Proud Boys approaching the Capitol from the northwest and encountering a small police presence behind a temporary barrier.
We love Trump! We love speech, Scotty.
Biggs huddles with an individual in a red hat and carrying a flag.
We love Trump! Yeah, kill the speech.
Who just minutes later is the first to charge the barriers.
Yeah. Yeah, the issue is they went against,
Proud Boys can be
Right,
seen in
Rabbit.
the crowd. Porter told the Journal that he participated in a protest, not
Yes, they look like Antifa to me.
a riot, and that he did not enter the Capitol. The few police officers there quickly fall back. And the Proud Boys make up a large portion of the first wave to reach the base of the Capitol.
They're rushing the Capitol, brother! The Proud Boys are rushing the Capitol!
Nice. It's all on tape. It's all on tape too. Nice.
Proud Boys are among those who square off with Capitol Police at the base of the building. Dominic Pizzola, a Proud Boy and military veteran known as Spazzo, is on the front lines with a wire in his ear. Pizzola's attorney told the Journal his client did not coordinate his actions with anyone and that the radio earpiece was for listening to music. This man, who continues to be seen with the Proud Boys, appears to be directing members of the mob to the left side of the police line. He then leads a chant.
Who's good prisoners? Who's innocent? Do you want your house back? Take it!
Geesewine is nearby.
I can't believe we saw this live.
Nordine, Biggs, and other leadership also take prominent places on the front line near the Capitol steps. A protracted battle between rioters and outnumbered police ensues. And Proud Boys like Pizzola can be seen throughout
No
key
idea,
parts
Darknut.
of the confrontation. Around 1:37, Geesewine tries to push through the police barriers. And an hour later, rioters try to flank the police by climbing scaffolding. Pizzola takes part in the charge.
Yep.
And Geesewine
Exactly,
sprays
Rabbit.
police with an unidentified substance. Geesewine was arrested for assaulting a federal officer, destruction of government property, entering a restricted area, and disrupting Congress. Geesewine's attorney declined to comment. At around 2:12, Pizzola breaks a window to the Capitol with a police shield. He and Geesewine are among the first rioters to enter the building. Pizzola was arrested on January 15th for unlawful entry, destruction of government property, and obstruction of an official proceeding. Inside the Capitol, a crowd of rioters encounter Officer Eugene Goodman. They follow him up a set of stairs, coming perilously close to the lawmakers who are just down the hall through the doorway to the left of Goodman. Pizzola and Geesewine are in the crowd. Entering the building close behind is Biggs.
It's over!
Around the same time, at the base of the building, the police line is breaking apart, and crowds storm more entrances. As larger groups of rioters breach the building, parts of the Proud Boys contingent make it inside. Nicholas Oakes, leader of the Hawaii chapter of the Proud Boys, was arrested after boasting about entering the Capitol on social media. Oakes and his attorney declined to comment.
I'm right here.
According to the charging documents from
that's a good
Miami
point.
Proud Boy Gabriel Garcia, he roamed the Capitol calling for Nancy Pelosi to, quote, come out and play. A lawyer for Garcia said that he did not damage property or commit violence at the Capitol. His comments about Pelosi were in jest, and he wants nothing to do with the Proud Boys. Since the riot, Proud Boys leadership has tried to downplay their role. But the Journal's investigation shows that at every key breach of the Capitol's defenses, the Proud Boys and members of their contingent are at the forefront of the mob and can be seen coordinating and instigating. Authorities have arrested about
did try
7
to put a
Proud
mask
Boys
on
so
after
far
doing so
for their
much
role
with
in
one
the
before.
attack. Other Proud Boys have threatened more violence.
Jake, this is a shot across the back. Like, next time we come armed.
Porter told the Journal he made this statement as an individual, not as a representative of the Proud Boys. Proud Boy leadership was unapologetic about the violence in a live stream after the riots.
I've answered reporters for the past week that keep saying, well, the Proud Boys planned this, and this is f***ed up, and they've told me to denounce it. Listen, I'm not going to denounce anything. I do understand.
Terrio told the Journal that his and Big's comments in this show were expressing the views of Trump supporters who have felt marginalized by the system.
It's only going to get worse, and that's what people don't understand, is the more you push the bear, the more you poke the bear is going to come back.
Cool. Very cool. Nice meme. He's wearing FBI hats, true. Oh yeah, that's right, Dr. Ryan. They were there with bats and clubs. Like imagine like having to twist yourself into such pretzels to try to stave off the PR nightmare. I mean, like, dude, there's heavy amounts of footage, that you put yourself into, right? That's out there. It's public. It's not like I don't know what the need for lying is at this point. Incredible. If they get convicted of felonies, yep. Now I want pretzels. So apparently, according to the MyPillow guy, Twitter was actually acting like him. Oh man, unfortunately it's already about 11:25, so I do have to get going, but you guys have to check this out. It's also on the Discord. This bizarre bizarre conspiracy theory. Dang it, I came in too late again. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Banana Man. We stream about almost 2 hours and 20 minutes. I always say 9 to 11 because, you know, that's usually the time set, but I always stay as much as I can. Alright folks, I gotta start heading out. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Not Richard Warlock, thank you for the subscription. The new follows, Dirty Bird, Distiller, Mike, Mickey, not Richard Warlock, thank you for the follow. Mr. Rogers, thank you for the follow. Alio for the subscription, 3 months, thank you so much. Mark Somar, thank you for the follow. Yu, thank you for the follow. Seventh Reverend, thank you for the raid, and thank you for the follow. Sunrays, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Thank you so much for the follow, Rabbit Wombat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the stream. Take care, folks. You take care. Thank you guys so much. What's the word on COVID relief checks? Still pending. Thank you, Heat. I appreciate that. You're the best. As Sanders, no evidence that Terry ratted on the Proud Boys. He continued to rat on things to do with this pharma case. And been a prolific cooperator with the feds, but we don't know that. He ratted out Proud Boys, but it's funny and effective for the left to spread that message. Yeah, I think it's just like interesting. Yes, Bernie says he can pass it with reconciliation, so we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that vote. Hopefully it does. I think it's, what, a week or something to go? Alright guys, as always, I'll be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you enjoy the show, please go ahead and give us a follow and join our YouTube and give us a quick subscription. Smack the sub button right there. It takes a second. Thank you guys, as always. Please take care of each other. Please stay safe. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! Dan Simpson. Let's hang out with Dan Simpson. I haven't been in that in his stream for a while. Let's hang out with Dan Simpson. All right, folks. Let's head on out here. Thank you guys again. Thank you for the follow, Schlang. Thank you. I appreciate that. As always, guys, stay safe. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.